The most common investments are the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, the QQQ. These are considered benchmark ETFs, and they are core holdings in many investors' portfolios, and they both have a phenomenal track record. However, they do not come without their flaws. And the biggest issue, in my opinion, which is especially concerning right now, is concentration. These ETFs are heavily concentrated within big tech because they are market cap weighted. And right now, they are at the most concentrated level they have ever been in history, all condensed within the top few big name tech stocks, which have ballooned in size because of the AI boom. Now, what I like to focus on are ETFs that can serve as potential replacements to these core holdings and provide a tactical edge through strategic stock selection. The goal is to move away from the typical market cap weighting and instead use quality screeners to find stocks that portray certain valuable characteristics. The key is understanding how that stock selection works and whether it has the potential to become a core holding to a portfolio. I've already covered multiple ETFs on this channel that do exactly that, and I love seeing them not only outperform benchmark ETFs like the S&P 500, but also grow rapidly in assets under management, because in my opinion, that is a true sign of a successful ETF. I covered one almost 2 years ago on my old channel that I considered to be a potential replacement to the S&P 500. It embodied one of my favorite investing strategies. And the craziest part is that when I first reviewed it, the ETF was sitting at roughly $1 billion in assets under management. Today, that has grown more than 7 times to $8 billion. So clearly there's growing trust in this ETF, and for good reason. The way it selects its stocks has so far given it superior risk management relative to the S&P 500, but also superior growth. And historically, we have seen this play out time and time again. In 2026 alone, this ETF managed to mitigate the downside better than most dividend ETFs on the market, losing only 1.8% compared to the S&P 500's 7%. And on the upside, it has exploded. Year to date, it has now outperformed the S&P 500 by more than 10%, returning almost 18% and matching the QQQ. Now, of course, you can't cherry pick dates, so how has it performed since inception? Same story. It has outperformed the S&P 500 by almost 20%. In my opinion, it may have officially solidified its place as a long-term replacement to the S&P 500. And this brings me to VFLO, which is the Victory Shares Free Cash Flow ETF. Judging by the name alone, the strategy is pretty obvious. Free cash flow. And I want you to focus on that term, especially right now in 2026, because free cash flow has become the biggest topic of discussion among investors and institutions alike. The reason is that this massive AI boom has led to enormous spending and capital expenditures, which has heavily pressured the free cash flow of prominent companies like Google, Amazon, and Meta. Google's free cash flow has dropped 47% relative to last year, and Amazon's free cash flow has dropped 95% because of heavy AI infrastructure costs. And that broad decline is one of the key drivers behind the volatility we're seeing in the markets today. So by focusing on free cash flow rich companies, this could give your portfolio the hedge it needs without sacrificing long-term growth. And I'll break this down in more detail in just a second, so definitely stick around until the end. Building a resilient portfolio isn't just about picking the right ETFs. It's also about being able to act on your strategies whenever opportunities arise. Because markets don't only move during regular trading hours, and if you can't respond when conditions change, that can create an opportunity gap in your portfolio. That's where Plus 500 futures come in. The platform gives you access to futures on the S&P 500, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones nearly 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, allowing you to build positions, hedge existing ones, and manage risk even when the stock market is closed. And with micro contracts available, you can do all that with smaller position sizes, lower capital requirements, and commissions as low as 49 cents per micro contract. Plus 500 operates in a CFTC regulated environment with no inactivity fees. If you open and fund your account with at least $300 using my link, you can receive a $60 account credit. Terms and conditions apply. You can find the link in the description down below. Futures trading does involve risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Leverage can work against you as well as for you. And of course, a big thank you to Plus 500 for sponsoring this segment. Now, what is free cash flow and why does it matter? Well, in simple terms, free cash flow is the money that's left over after a company accounts for all of its operations and expenditures. Super simple. When a company has strong and growing free cash flow, it signals an efficient business model with the financial buffer to withstand volatility and the ability to distribute and grow dividends. That's why dividend stocks are generally considered risk averse. They have consistent free cash flow to support those dividends, and their business models tend to be resistant. VFLO specifically screens for stocks with the highest free cash flow, but it also uses a series of unique screeners that sets it apart. Now, before we get into that, let's quickly cover the fundamentals. VFLO was established in June of 2023, giving it more than 3 years of historical performance. It currently sits at roughly $8 billion in assets under management and carries an expense ratio of 0.39%, which is relatively high, but given its consistent outperformance, that fee is worth it in my opinion. Now, since inception, it has outperformed the S&P 500 by roughly 20% and has actually kept up with the QQQ itself, which is extremely impressive. Year to date, it has outperformed the S&P 500 by 10% and matched the QQQ. But what I really want you to focus on is how its price return deviates from the broader market. In 2024, you can see VFLO deviate away from the S&P 500. And during the April sell-off in 2025, VFLO fell only 8% compared to the S&P 500's 13%. And in the recent 2026 volatility, it captured only 1.8% in drawdowns versus the S&P 500's 7%. That is better than prominent dividend ETFs like DGRO, while still managing to outperform by over 10%. You're getting strong risk management combined with non-correlating price movements, and that is because of its emphasis on free cash flow. Now, keep in mind, this is a potential replacement to the S&P 500, not a dividend ETF. So despite carrying some dividend-like characteristics, its yield is still relatively low at 1.2%, so don't get this confused. That said, it does have a strong dividend growth rate of 15%, which could translate into a higher yield over time. A good sign for investors building a dividend snowball portfolio. All right, so how does VFLO actually work? Well, it comes down to 3 specific screening steps. Step 1, it selects 400 of the most profitable large cap US companies with an emphasis on growth rate and free cash flow yield. Right away, you're investing in large cap companies, which adds its own layer of stability and long-term reliability. And free cash flow yield is a metric you get by dividing a company's free cash flow by its enterprise value. An enterprise simply refers to the size of the company, but it's not just the market cap, it also accounts for the debt as well. So this number represents how much free cash flow a company generates relative to its true size. Step 2 is the free cash flow screen, which narrows down the picks to 75 highest free cash flow yielding value stocks. And this step is crucial because it analyzes both trailing and expected free cash flow. And that is what separates VFLO from other prominent free cash flow ETFs, most notably COWS, C-O-W-Z. COWS strictly focuses on trailing free cash flow. And when you compare the two side by side, VFLO has nearly 2x the performance since inception. The reason is simple. Looking only at the last 12 months trailing data means that you may be late to trends already in motion. But by analyzing what the market is expecting going forward, expected data, you can capitalize on current momentum. And step 3 is the growth filter, which pushes that growth rate back up to nearly 11%. Combining high growth with high free cash flow yield in a concentrated portfolio of roughly 50 stocks. So you can see that this is a very specific quality-driven screener. These 3 screeners bring together 2 investing cornerstones: the risk management of free cash flow and strong growth characteristics into one strategy. And with growing concerns over big tech's free cash flow driving market volatility, VFLO could not only serve as a hedge, it could also potentially serve as a growth driver heading into 2027. Now, no video would be complete without talking about the downside. And in my opinion, there's only one with this ETF, and it's of course, its concentration. With just 50 stocks, VFLO does exhibit slightly higher price volatility, and you can see that when you look at the fund's historical performance. But a portfolio isn't built on just one ETF, and diversifying into other names can help mitigate that risk. So what's my final verdict? Well, despite what the video title says, you don't have to completely replace the S&P 500 with VFLO, but you can complement it to give yourself risk-managed growth. However, in my opinion, you can even go a step further. I see a lot of investors pairing the S&P 500 with the QQQ, and I never really understood this because you're concentrated within the same stocks. So when the market falls, these 2 ETFs are falling together, just one is falling at a faster rate. So you could pair the QQQ with VFLO instead to give you that non-correlating price movement and risk management characteristics to create an all-around portfolio anchor. But of course, this is not financial advice. I am simply sharing my own opinions and research. And that is all for this one. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. Discussions of ETFs, investing strategies, market updates, or specific funds are general, not tailored to your financial situation, and should not be relied upon for decision making. Investing involves significant risks, including total loss of principal, and past performance does not guarantee future results. I am not a registered financial advisor. My content reflects personal research and publicly available information. I may earn affiliate commissions from mentioned products or links disclosed per FTC guidelines, but these do not influence my opinions. Always consult a licensed financial professional and verify information independently. By watching this, you agree I am not liable for any losses or consequences from your actions. International viewers should consult local regulations.